2.5 minutes of promos. Hello! You join us live and direct on Hang Loose Beach for the Under-21 Formula Kite World Championships. I'm Jemima Craythorne.
Hello, I'm Theodor Ramko.
So what we can see out there is a nice kind of 10 knots. The breeze is up already. And Theo, what would you be feeling right now if you were out on the water?
I would be really happy actually because we are having a typical Gizzeria day. Gizzeria is an amazing location for kite foiling and yeah, this kind of events. The breeze is like really consistent, never too strong. The water is super nice to ride in, and yeah, I would be really excited. But the last day of the final series, before tomorrow the semi-final and final, so there is a lot to do depending on your ranking. If you're fighting for the top spot, you really want to make sure you qualify yourself within the first two, so you have a spot directly in the finals.
Yeah.
If you're a little bit behind, you really want to secure your place within the top 10 to be able to race and to improve your ranking tomorrow. So yeah, a lot of excitement, the conditions are good, everyone is super hungry, there's a really high level here, the young guys are really pushing it, and yeah, it should be a great show for us today.
Absolutely. And these are all our friends pretty much, so the IK have been super kind at letting us sit here today. Usually we're on the other side of the screen, we're on the water at the moment, so it's a little bit new. We've commentated once or twice before, but never quite like this. So yeah, we'll see how we do, but it's an honour to be here. So what faces, who of our friends do we recognise out there?
So there are many riders, even if they're racing for the youth small title, most of them are also racing on the normal major events, so fighting with adults and like fighting for the top spot with really high level, from the women to the boys. And yeah, I have a lot of French friends, also like, yeah, a lot of people from all over the world, which I really like and which I really hope for the best for today.
Yeah, it's quite funny being on the outside of it because you just want the best for everyone, and it's been so cool seeing so many different race wins from actually quite a few people. I think I expected the kind of top four to be pretty dominant in either fleet, as it has been before, like in the Youth Euros and Youth Worlds last year. But this year, oh my goodness, we've seen some real talent, especially from South American riders as well, like Lucas Fonseca and Catalina Torienzo. I think we did not expect to see them in the top 10, let alone like pretty much leading races for Catalina, and Lucas, like really nice consistency in the top 5 there, which is incredible.
Yeah, we are really lucky to be able to witness this, because the level overall of the whole fleet over the last couple of years really increased with the professionalism and our first Olympics getting closer and closer. And there were also like a new generation which are racing here, so youth guys would be able to get to train with like the former pros from the respective countries, and this really brings the overall level of the fleet overall, and this fleet of youth guys like to increase and get better and better. And we now see like people like Maximilian, who is mastering like and being on the program of most of the major events. He had the chance also to participate to the Olympic test event, and he's really within the top 3 guys of the whole industry and sports. So yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of insane. I don't think this is normal for Olympic sailing to have so many of actually the world's top riders to be youth riders. So as you said last week at the test event, we had Max Mader was there, Julia Domasewicz was there from Poland, and who else was there actually? I'm trying to think of riders.
I feel like Kevin had his spot also, but there was like political issue, let's say, that didn't make him to participate. But yeah.
But it's so nice to see him here, and so nice to see him really consistently at the top there, fighting with Max and Riccardo from Italy. I think those guys are used to battling it out against each other, and it's definitely been a bit of a surprise for them to have other riders coming up through the ranks to kind of fight with on the water. Goldfleet was super interesting yesterday, and I think we're going to see more of that today.
Yeah, it's also super interesting to see that it's a U21 World Championship, so there will be also the Youth World Sailing World Championship with younger people, so there are people pretending for the World Sailing Youth World Championship, like kind of training and racing here, which are fighting against people like Maximilian or Julia, which already have quite a lot of experience on the race course. There is also people who were racing last week with in the AS category. So, for example, Gizzeria from Switzerland, who got world champion on the AS gear, which swapped to the Formula Kite gear and is performing really good also this week. So it's a really, really interesting mix between really professional athletes already, even if they are still under 21, but also like newcomers, like for example Jean-Paul, that we've seen that is, I still can't believe he was born in 2012, but yeah.
Incredible. Yeah, I think Jean-Paul has definitely surprised both of us. We raced with him in Brazil in November last year, and his level was already so high. I think we were super surprised to see him making it round the course, let alone making it round with really good technique. And he's progressed so much since then. And here, he is really battling with the guys here. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really nice to follow. Like, I've been within the Formula Kite events since I'm really young. I grew up within this community, and I'm really, really happy to see newcomers which are evolving really quick. Like you were talking about Lucas, for example, Jean-Paul on a different level, but they're every 6 months or so that you see them, they would have different ambition, different skills, different technique, and yeah. It's really, really nice to see.
Yeah, it's cool. And I think definitely the fact that this sport has been made Olympic has just opened the door for so many athletes to kind of climb up through the ranks, first on the Youth A's equipment, which is a bit more of a friendly foil and a tube kite, so it's a little bit easier to relaunch in the light wind. It's a bit safer, definitely easier to get used to. And then people progress onto the Formula Kite equipment, which is a lot faster, a lot more technical, and we've even got quite a nice masters fleet as well, so this sport is definitely growing. I know we've got a nice video from Joe Glanfield talking about this new Olympic class that we can see a little bit later. It's just so cool that next year, it's less than a year away now. That's mad. 2024, it's happening.
Yeah, and it's also super nice for us to be able to live major events like this from a different perspective, and being able also to see all the work, the progression of for example, the live stream of Ike, and the energy they put into promoting our sport and believing in our passion, our way of life, and what we really deeply love, and pushing us to get more professional and spreading also the word within the whole sailing community.
Exactly. Yeah, really, really cool stuff. Oh, at the moment, this is, we can see the girls' start line footage. So they're just practicing starts, they're running into the line, checking out the bias on that line. So yesterday we actually had some quite interesting port starts due to that pin end being a little bit favoured, and I think people will definitely be looking out for that today to see what opportunities they can take. So with Gizzeria, typically you have it's favoured to go right on this course, so there's a nice lift that you can get from the shore. So the aim of the game here is pretty simple. Most riders just want to be the first person to get to that right-hand corner. And Theo, in your experience, how hard is it to be the first person to get to the right-hand corner?
It really depends on your riding style preference and the starts, but it can get really tricky, and what I would offer you is to get to what happened the last few days with a nice recap.
in Gizzeria and I'm lucky to be joined by my co-host Teo de Ramacourt.
So the first 2 days of the Formula Kite Youth Worlds were all about making the cuts to the Gulf fleets.
And it's been so refreshing to see so many faces from around the world here on Hang Loose Beach. Riders have come as far as Colombia, Cuba, New Zealand and even Tonga to participate in this event. And although it's not been a surprise to have Max Mader from Singapore and Cuban Huang from China win all of their respective races, anticipation was high to see who would come out on top when the two Asians race each other, and where youth European champion Riccardo Pianozzi would stand. The extreme heat that is torturing all of Europe is even more brutal in the south of Italy and has affected the wind. The day started late waiting for the wind and had to be cut short when it died. Only 3 of the 4 races were possible, and despite Max Mader finishing 3rd in one of them, he won the other 2, creating a 2 points lead over Cuban Huang. Behind them, Pianozzi sits in 3rd, with today's bullet increasing his margin to the rest of the fleet. The girls have been racing in one fleet and the battle is on for the top spots. French and Polish riders have been dominating the races, but have been alternating in the lead. Chloe Revel set the tone of day 3 with an extraordinary port start, crossing the girls' fleet with plenty of room to spare. This inspired multiple port start action across the fleets, some successful and some unsuccessful. The end of the 3rd day finds youth European champion Eloise Pigurier back in the top spot, with Magda Wojciechowska and overnight leader Lisa Caval in 2nd and 3rd respectively. With only a few points separating them, everything is open going into the final races before the medal series.
Tune in to the Kite Classes channels
to watch the action with us live over the weekend. Okay, so that was quite a nice recap of what's happened so far leading into today, and now we can take a little look on what Joe Glanfield has to say about our new Olympic class.
Glanfield, and I'm the head coach of the British sailing team. So essentially I work across all 10 classes that compete at the Olympics. I've got a long background in the Olympics, so I competed at 3 Olympics myself in the 470 class and got 2 medals, and then I've coached the last 3 Olympics, coaching Hannah Mills with Sastia Clark and Ailey McIntyre at the last Olympics. So I guess my background is very much dinghies. Always has been, and my understanding of kiting is quite limited, but I guess what I would bring to this environment potentially is more of an understanding of the Olympics itself and how to build up to the Olympics. So I guess my purpose for being here really is to get a better understanding of the kite class. Where are the parallels, where are the similarities between other classes that have already been at the Olympics for a number of cycles, and what's different, what's new, and will we have to approach in a new way. Well, I think I'm still learning where kiting is at now. I think what we've probably seen in other Olympic classes that have come in in the past is people get more professional, people will increase the number of hours they're doing, and people will add more process to how to get better. You know, you would expect that the winners of this Olympics will be at a higher standard than they are now. So really it's a development game, you know, and them figuring out how do I methodically improve. I'm not greatly placed to know that, but I think I don't think it's inevitable. I think what probably is inevitable is that the racing gets closer. So then inevitably there's more interaction between boards or boats in another class, and that will need to be worked through. Whereas before there was probably bigger speed differences and so more space on the course. As that fleet improves, it gets more congested. So people then need to be more aware of what's around them and understand those limits better. And then maybe as the class evolves, also the rules need to evolve a bit, or the application of the rules. But I'm not, in a way, I don't have a great view of that and what that is in the kites. Kiting, you know,